All right, this is my final review of the tour version of the Meze Neo, the 99 Neos. I got in pretty early. This is a pre-production model, so there are some things that carried over from the classics. In the background, you'll see that I compared it to the AudioQuest Night Owls, to the Meze Classics themselves, the 99 Classics, and the excellent little Think Sound ON2, which does use repurposed wood. I really like those. I like all of them. So real quick, here's the box that it came in. It's not your typical black box. It's a kind of gray and white. It does show what color it is right there, black and silver. And if we go to the side, there's the frequency graph, which I did put on in my review. There are the specs right there that it lists. It's fairly sensitive. It does have a good frequency range, and it is rated for pretty high power. All right. Just your typical box from there. On the side, they give you some items: perfect natural sound, perfect natural fit, and then they go from there with some other things that I'll get into. Opening the box up, it is magnetic on the side. It does open up. It is a foam-lined box with a nice flap there. And then when I got these, I noticed right away, this is the Meze Classics item, the gel pack. I always save these. I think I said that in another video. If it's my personal item, I save these and I throw them in my toolbox. The adapter, 3.5 to 6.3, and then an airline adapter is pretty nice. So nice foam-lined, it fits in there. Nothing fancy on that, but it's just a good solid box. This is the case that it comes in. It is different than the case that came with those. I'm borrowing Pinky Powers Classics. I really thank him for that. They're really nice. I'll have a review coming up with those, even though I know there's like 60 of them out there already. This case is different. This is more of a fabric, a Cordura fabric case, as opposed to the pleather or what have you. And it does, to me, it's a little flimsier, but again, this could be a pre-production one. So opening it up, what I found is those, and then there were two cables. There's already one cable in there that's undone, and if you look close, it says Meze Classic on it, but this is the cable. One came without microphone, and then one inside there that does have a microphone. I think the way it comes is, actually this has a microphone on it, the other one does not. And I can say right off the bat that the microphone did work when I used it. They set to 3.5 millimeter cables, and it's pretty nice. Okay, looking at the end of this, this is something that Pinky also told me. They're labeled left and right on there. I don't know if we'll be able to get that. Yep, there's the L, there's the R. But it doesn't matter which one you put on these. A lot of some headphones, if you look inside there might be labeled left or left and right on here, and I couldn't see them. A few smudges, but quality for pre-production, this is pretty good. These are the newer pads, and there's been mixed debate with these. These do seem to be taller and thicker, cushier, and they do seem to be a little bit bigger, volume-wise, than the older Mezes. Okay, these do look like they're a little bit bigger, but I think there might be 3 versions of these out. I'm not sure. They took Meze took pains. They listened to a lot of people that said they love the classics, the 99 Classics, because they sound good. They're very good sounding, but they had trouble with the ear pads. They were a little bit too small. So I applaud them for looking into that and saying, all right, we take our customer service seriously, so we're going to make a little bit bigger. You can see that it looks like it's a little bit wider fore and aft on your head. My suggestion right off the bat, you take these, you get a pair of those pads, you try them both. I ended up liking those pads more. I have smaller ears. It just gave me, I think, a better fit and a better sound. I'm not going to debate the sound on this. Suffice to say that I think the older pads provided a better sound on these, but again, these are pre-production, so it could vary once we get to the final. You know, this is pre-production because this is 99 Classics on there. Same double frame, same wonderful, nice Meze Spider logo on the side. 40 millimeter drivers on these. Plastic cups. Fit and finish for this is very, very good. What I will say about the pads is it's a real pain getting these back in. It took me probably, being very careful because I know these aren't mine, it took me probably a good 20 minutes to put both pads on after putting them on. If I were to peel this back carefully, the lip that this fits in, that it tucks behind there on, the back of the pad tucks on, is very, very tight, as opposed to the 99 Classic, which was much more pliable. You can see right there that there's a little bit of a nice lip. Okay, so again, hopefully between now and the production ones, I hope it's not too late, hopefully they can take care of that, because to me, part of the fun of headphones like this is being able to change pads to get that fit that you want. Suspension system up and down on this. You'll see that this is a plastic band. It's pretty, there's the end of it right there. So it will go all the way up to match the top of the bands. With the Classics, same thing, nice plastic, okay? I wouldn't worry about these. I mean, I can pick these up like this. I know most people will be very careful, or like this. But it is nice to be able to, hey, if I got to grab it real quick, not have to worry about picking that up like that, okay? Compared to the Think Sounds, these are a portable, which I really like. And then these can fit together. Much smaller fitting, and the adjustment is, that's a metal band up and down, and I think if I'm quiet you can hear it. Okay, very easily adjustable. I did end up buying a case for these. Okay, get that out of the way. The Night Owls, on the other hand, are really, really big. I put these on and these just envelop my my head. Traditional single handle, it's almost like it's a luggage. Night Owl on top, just wonderful cushion. It's a very nice leather strap with almost a suspension system in there. These are just top quality. I unabashedly, this is the winner of this four, but again, when you're comparing price $250 to $700, it's not a real fair comparison. The three of these is a much fairer comparison. All right, speaking of comparison, what did I like? I liked the initial fit. I could get a comfortable fit. Sound-wise, the bass is the first thing that hit me, and it stayed with me pretty much the whole time. To me, it was a bit boomy. I like bass. I like a solid bass. I don't like a bass that bleeds into the others, into the mids. In my rudimentary and less than professional knowledge, the bass tended to bleed into the mids with this, and it did kind of ruined it for me. But if you're looking for an EDM headphone, this should be probably at or near the top of your list. It's really nice. I found the treble to be a little bit rolled off with these. Again, in my non-professional, I'm not a professional like a lot of the reviewers on HeadFi. I found the treble to be rolled off with this, and a little in comparison to those. The treble reach is a little bit higher with that. That has a much more open sound. I hate to call it airy because I'm not sure what would qualify as airy and not, but I'll go with open sound on those. Not to say that this is intimate. This has a very, very good sound stage. And in fact, I would consider this sound, I was talking to somebody just this morning, I think, on HeadFi, because I had made two seemingly contradictory statements. My initial listen with these was that these had a more open sound than the Neos, but it was because I had not listened to those for about 3 weeks. So it's that wow moment of, man, I forgot how good these really are. This is a much more intimate sound. I think the bass is a little more solid and a little more tight. It's not loose. I hate to call this bloated, because I think that's an insult to the Neos. It's not bloated. It's a good bass. It's deep. You can feel it, but it's not quite as well tamed as the Neos or as the Classics or the Night Owls. But it's a good bass. Mids, to me, were slightly forward compared to the Classics. So I think they were trying to I don't know if they were trying to compensate for the bass, by pushing those forward, but instrumentation. The instruments were right where they needed to be. I could unscientifically feel that the soundstage was outside of my head, width, height, and depth. So all three. This has a very, very nice soundstage. Soundstage, I would say that this compares favorably to those two with the Think Sounds, the ON2s behind them. Okay? So, overall impressions. If I was looking at something beyond Beats or Souls or Bose or something like this, if I would recommend these to people that have those, you'd be silly not to go take a look at these, considering that these are pretty much in the same price as the Beats 2 or whatever Ludacris has out right now, whatever version of the Souls they had. This is a much better headphone than either one of those. My son has Beat 2s. They came with his computer. He likes them. I'm not going to fault him for that. But if I had these when he comes home and he were to try them on, I think I can unabashedly say he would choose these. So if you're looking at that as your first step up, or again, if you like EDM or you like a good bass and you don't mind a little bit of bleed into the mids, these would be very, very good. But when I throw it in with the Big Brother, something in the same price range or something well above it, that to me is when it falls a little bit short. That's not a disservice to these. I really don't think that is. I put it out there. I said, if I were looking at these singularly, this is a good unit. It's a very good unit. I like them. I happen to like these better. I happen to like the open nature. I think it's a little bit cleaner sound with those. And then that's just not a fair comparison. So I won't even, those are, wow. That's all I can say. I'll have my review up of those in about a month. So only when you compare it to other, like the older brother, something of higher quality than the Beats or the Souls or the Bose. And I know that's kind of an all-encompassing slap in the face on those, but that's kind of, the way I feel. Then these shine. You'd be silly not to go listen to a pair of these. But when you throw them in the ring with something that's similar or even above it, that's when these tend to falter. This is I liken this to the little brother that tags along with Big Brother everywhere and wants to do everything that Big Brother does and does it almost as well as Big Brother. Maybe over time when they get to a version 2 or when they get to the production phase. I'd love to hear a production phase of this. It's good. Good entry level to get you into the market. Maybe when you move up, a natural step up would be to those. I would recommend you go listen to these when they come out. If you want to take a flyer, make your pre-order on them. I think it's well worth a listen. That's one of those, I know a lot of times in the portable audio, you buy it, you don't like it, you can get rid of it pretty quickly. I know that that's not the right way to do it, but there's things I purchased over the years that I end up liking, and then I find something a little bit better and I move on. Quality, I think it's pretty good. Plastic it's not bad. They're rugged, they're durable, easily adjustable. Only after about 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours, did I have to sit there and adjust them on my head. Those, I can put them on and I can just forget them. These I have to adjust. They're on ear. Those I think fit a little bit better than these. Do yourself a favor. Try out a pair of these. Try them with both pads if you can. Go for a nice long audition with them. I used them in everything from my MacBook Pro with the i5 Black Label to my Shanling M1, little portable unit. Worked really well with that. To the Shanling M5, to my FiiO X5 3rd generation and the A5 amp. And it just did really well. Paired with the Black Label, I know Debresky George did this, and he was head over heels. I got to agree that enhanced bass and then the ability to EQ on whatever program you're using on your computer or whatever unit, you can make this thing shine on its own. I like it. overall, I would recommend this. But again, I've kind of beaten a dead horse here. Only when thrown in against other things does it maybe fall a little bit short. Meze, I really appreciate you putting me on this tour. These will be off in the mail to the next person tomorrow. I'm gonna miss them. They're very good. I've had them I've had a good time with them. I've listened. I've gone back and listened. I like them. I think they're a very good attempt at bringing that down to the almost entry level good stuff. You'd be hard pressed to find something at this price range, okay, outside of the ones that I really like, that would perform as well or better. Give them a listen. Meze 99 Neos, when they come out, I think they're on pre-order right now. They're good. That's what I can say. They're good. I like them. Good luck, everybody. Thanks. Take care.